Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Dang Good Show. I'm your host, Christine Dang, but you can call me CDang. Today, we're diving into something that affects all of us, whether we realize it or not. The difference between being productive and finding genuine purpose in what we do. If you tuned in for episode 44, we talked about emotional intelligence in the age of automation and how our uniquely human qualities become more valuable as technology advances. Last episode, we explored finding authentic connection in our digital world. Today, we're shifting our focus to another fundamental aspect of our lives, our work and how we find meaning in it. We live in a culture obsessed with productivity. Our worth is often measured by how much we accomplish, how busy we are, how efficiently we use our time. There are endless books, podcasts, apps dedicated to helping us squeeze more productivity out of every minute. And don't get me wrong, being productive can feel great. There's satisfaction in crossing items off a to-do list or completing a project. But here's the thing. Productivity alone doesn't fulfill us. We can be incredibly productive while feeling completely empty inside. We can efficiently accomplish tasks that don't align with our values or bring us any sense of purpose. And in today's world, where AI and automation are handling more routine tasks, simply being productive isn't enough. We need to find deeper meaning in what we do. Today, we're going beyond productivity to explore how to find genuine purpose in our work, whether that's a traditional career, creative pursuits, parenting, volunteering, or any other way you contribute to the world. We'll talk about the difference between productivity and purpose, how to identify what truly matters to you, and practical ways to align your daily activities with your deeper values. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Let's start by talking about what I call the productivity trap. The belief that our worth is tied to how much we accomplish and how efficiently we work. This mindset is deeply embedded in our culture. From an early age, we're taught to value achievement, efficiency, and visible results. Our education system rewards completing assignments on time, getting good grades, and checking boxes. Our workplaces evaluate us based on output, deadlines met, and goals achieved. Even our leisure time isn't immune. Many of us feel guilty when we're just relaxing instead of doing something productive. This focus on productivity isn't inherently bad. Productivity helps us create, contribute, and make the most of our limited time. The problem arises when productivity becomes the end goal rather than a means to something more meaningful. When we're productive, just for the sake of being productive. I've definitely fallen into this trap. There was a period in my life when I was obsessed with optimizing everything. I had the perfect morning routine, used time blocking for my workday, and constantly tracked my habits and progress. On paper, I was crushing it, getting more done than ever before. But inside, I felt oddly empty. I was efficiently doing things that, if I was honest with myself, didn't really matter to me. I was productive without purpose. The emptiness of productivity without purpose is becoming even more apparent in our age of automation. As AI and technology handle more routine tasks, simply being efficient isn't enough to create value or find fulfillment. Machines can often be more productive than humans. They don't need breaks. They don't get distracted. They can process information at incredible speeds. But here's what machines can't do. They can't find meaning. They can't determine what matters. They can't connect their activities to a larger purpose that gives them a sense of fulfillment. That remains uniquely human territory, and it's why shifting our focus from mere productivity to genuine purpose is so essential, not just for our well-being, but for our relevance in an increasingly automated world. So if productivity alone isn't enough, what exactly do I mean by purpose? Purpose goes beyond completing tasks or achieving goals. It's about connecting what you do to something that matters deeply to you. Purpose is what transforms work from a series of to-dos into a meaningful contribution. It's the why behind the what and the how. While productivity focuses on efficiency, doing things right, purpose focuses on effectiveness, doing the right things for the right reasons. Research consistently shows that having a sense of purpose is associated with greater well-being, resilience, and even longevity. A study from the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center found that people with a high sense of purpose in life were 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease and mild cognitive impairment. Other research has linked purpose to lower stress levels, better sleep, and greater overall life satisfaction. But what exactly creates this sense of purpose? While it varies from person to person, purpose typically involves three key elements. First, purpose involves using your unique strengths and talents. We tend to find more meaning in activities that allow us to apply our natural ability and skills, the things we're good at and enjoy doing. Second, purpose connects to something bigger than yourself. This might mean contributing to an organization's mission, making a difference in others' lives, advancing knowledge in your field, creating something beautiful, or countless other possibilities. And third, purpose aligns with your core values, the principles and beliefs that matter most to you. When your work reflects what you truly care about, it naturally feels more purposeful. I want to emphasize that purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't mean you need to cure cancer, build a billion-dollar company, or win a Nobel Prize. No. Purpose can be found in every day, in parenting, in helping colleagues, in creating small moments of beauty or connection. The key is that it matters to you, and it connects to something you genuinely value. Also, purpose isn't necessarily about finding one ultimate calling or passion. Many of us have multiple sources of purpose in different areas in our lives, and these can evolve over time. The goal isn't to discover some predetermined purpose that was waiting for you all along, but to consciously create purpose by connecting what you do to what matters to you. Before you can align your work with your purpose, you need to know what truly matters to you, your core values. Values are the principle and priorities that guide your decisions and define what's important in your life. I like to think of values as the compass that helps you navigate life's choices. When your actions align with your values, you feel a sense of integrity and fulfillment. When you don't, you often experience inner conflict or emptiness, even if you're being productive. So how do you identify your core values? Here are a few exercises that have helped me and others. First, try the peak experiences reflection. Think about 3 to 5 peak experiences in your life, times when you felt most alive, fulfilled, and true to yourself. Write about these experiences in detail. What were you doing? Who were you with? What made these moments special? Then look for patterns across these experiences. What values were being expressed and or honored? For me, one peak experience was mentoring university students during my time in Seoul. What made this meaningful wasn't just helping with academics. It was creating a space where these students felt seen and understood, where they could explore their dreams and challenges openly. This experience highlighted how much I value authentic connection, empowerment, and creating safe spaces for growth, values that now guide my work. Another approach is to consider what angers or upsets you. Our emotional reactions often point to validated values. If you feel frustrated when someone interrupts each other in meetings, you might value respect and equal voice. If you feel upset by wasteful practices, you might value sustainability and responsibility. You can also try the "what would you do" thought experiment. If money was no object and success was guaranteed, what would you do with your time? Your answer reveals what you find inherently valuable, not just what brings external rewards. Once you reflected on these questions, try to distill your insights into 3 to 5 core values. These might include things like creativity, independence, justice, learning, connection, excellence, service, or dozens of other possibilities. The key is identifying the values that resonate most deeply with you personally. This process of clarifying your values isn't just a one-time exercise. It's an ongoing exploration. As you grow and experience life, your understanding of what matters most to you may evolve. That's natural and healthy. The important thing is maintaining awareness in your current values so you can use them as a compass for creating purpose in your work. I should mention that this values exploration is also central to emotional intelligence, which we discussed in episode 44. Self-awareness, understanding your values, strengths, and motivations is the foundation of emotional intelligence. When you're clear about what matters to you, you can make choices that honor those values, leading to greater authenticity and fulfillment. Enjoying what you're hearing? Fantastic! To make sure you're always in the loop with the latest episode, just hit that subscribe button. Your support makes all the difference. And hey, this podcast thrives because of awesome listeners like you. So a big shout out for that. And of course, I'm on Instagram. Find and follow me at Christine_Dang. Lastly, looking for more information on what we discussed today? Just cruise on over to thedangoodshow.com, click on the episode you're curious about, and voila, access to the show notes. Now, without further ado, let's jump back into the show. Now that we've talked about identifying your values, let's discuss how to align your work, whatever that looks like to you, with those values to create a greater sense of purpose. There are 3 main approaches to finding more purpose in your work, and the right approach depends on your unique situation. The first approach is to find new meaning in your current role. Many of us have more flexibility than we realize to reshape our current work to better align with our values. This is what researchers call job crafting, making intentional changes to how you view, approach, and perform your job. For example, if you value creativity but work in a seemingly uncreative field, you might look for opportunities to solve problems in innovative ways or suggest improvements to processes. If you value connection but work independently, you might create opportunities for collaboration or focus on how your work ultimately serves others. I had a friend who worked as an administrative assistant, a job many would consider routine. But She valued making people feel welcome and cared for. She transformed her role by viewing it as creating a positive experience for everyone who interacted with the office. Simple tasks like greeting visitors or organizing meetings became expressions of her values, giving her work deeper meaning. The second approach is to make a more significant change within your field. This might mean seeking a new position that better aligns with your values while using your existing skills and experience. For example, an accountant who values social impact might move from a corporate role to working with nonprofits. A teacher who values innovation might seek a position at a school with a more progressive approach to education. The third approach is to make a larger pivot to a different type of work altogether. This is often what people think of when discussing purpose, finding a completely new path. While this approach requires more significant changes, it can be incredibly rewarding when your current work fundamentally conflicts with your values. I experienced this kind of pivot myself. Early in my career, I worked in a field that rewarded competition and individual achievement. And as I became clear that I valued collaboration and helping others grow, I realized I needed a different path. Making the change wasn't easy. It involved additional education, starting at a lower level, and financial adjustments. But the alignment I now feel between my work and my values has been worth every challenge. It's important to note that these approaches weren't mutually exclusive, and you don't have to transform everything overnight. Often, finding purpose is an evolution, starting with small shifts in how you approach your current work, which may eventually lead to larger changes as you gain clarity and confidence. Also, remember that work isn't the only source of purpose in life. While we spend a significant portion of our time working, we can find purpose through relationships, community involvement, creative pursuits, spiritual practices, and other dimensions of life. Sometimes the solution isn't changing your job, but finding more purpose in other areas while approaching work with a healthier perspective. Let's get practical now. Here are some specific strategies for creating more purpose in your work, regardless of your situation. Number 1, connect to impact. One of the most powerful ways to find purpose is to understand how your work impacts others. This is especially important if you're in a role where you don't directly see the end results of your efforts. Take time to learn how your work contributes to your organization's mission or helps others. If possible, meet the people who benefit from what you do. If you're a writer, read comments from readers who were moved by your words. If you work in a support function, talk to the colleagues your work enables. Understanding the ripple effect of your contributions can transform how you see even routine tasks. Number 2, identify your purpose moments. In almost any role, there are moments that feel more purposeful than others. Sometimes when you're using your strengths, expressing your values, or making a difference, I call these purpose moments. Pay attention to these moments in your workday. When do you feel most engaged and alive? When do you lose track of time? When do you feel a sense of meaning or satisfaction? Once you identify these purpose moments, look for ways to create more of them. This might involve volunteering for certain projects, delegating or minimizing less meaningful tasks, or simply being more present during the parts of your work that aligns with your values. Number 3, build meaningful relationships. Research consistently shows that positive relationships are a major source of purpose at work. Even if your tasks themselves don't perfectly align with your values, connecting with colleagues, mentoring others, or creating a positive team culture can add significant meaning to your work experience. Look for opportunities to collaborate, support colleagues, share knowledge, or simply express appreciation. These connections not only make work more enjoyable, but also creates a sense of community and shared purpose. Number 4, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and engaged in the current moment, can help you find more meaning in your everyday activities. When we're distracted or on autopilot, we miss opportunities to experience purpose in what we're doing right now. Try bringing full attention to your tasks, whether it's writing an email, participating in a meeting, or working on a project. Notice the details, appreciate the process, and connect each activity to your larger values and goals. This present moment awareness can transform even routine tasks into opportunities for purpose and growth. And number 5, reflect and celebrate. Regular reflection helps you recognize purpose in your work and identify opportunities for greater alignment. Consider keeping a purpose journal where you record meaningful moments, lessons learned, or positive impacts you've had. Review this journal periodically to remind yourself of how your work connects to what matters to you. Also, take time to celebrate accomplishments that align with your values, not just the external matrix of success, but the moments when you express your authentic self through your work. Celebration reinforces the connection between your actions and your deeper purpose. And lastly, number 6, create a purpose statement. Finally, consider crafting a personal purpose statement for your work. This isn't a job description, but a declaration of how you want to contribute and what values you want to express through your work. For example, a teacher's purpose statement might be, I create safe, engaging spaces where students discover their unique strengths and develop confidence in their abilities. A healthcare administrator might say, I ensure smooth operations so caregivers can focus on patients, contributing to a healing environment through efficiency and compassion. Your purpose statement can serve as a North Star, helping you make decisions and approach your work with greater intentionality. It reminds you that regardless of your specific role, you have the power to define the purpose you bring to it. As we wrap up today's episode on finding purpose beyond productivity, I want to leave you with this thought. In a world increasingly focused on optimization and efficiency, our uniquely human capacity for meaning-making becomes even more valuable. While machines can help us be more productive, only we can determine what makes that productivity worthwhile. Finding purpose isn't about discovering some grand, predestined calling. It's about consciously creating meaning by connecting what you do to what matters to you. It's about bringing your values to life through your actions, whether in your career, creative pursuits, relationships, or community involvement. This process is ongoing and evolving. As you grow and change, your understanding of purpose may shift. What matters is maintaining awareness of your values and continually seeking alignment between those values and how you spend your time and energy. If you're currently feeling the emptiness of productivity without purpose, know that you're not alone. Many of us have found ourselves trapped in that cycle, but also know that you have the power to create change, whether through small shifts in how you approach your current work or larger pivots to a new path. For more on related topics, check out episode 12, where we explored self-awareness and self-love, or episode 44, where we discussed emotional intelligence in our increasingly automated world. Both episodes offer complementary insights that can support your journey toward greater purpose. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Have you found purpose in your work or other areas in your life? What strategies have helped you align your activities with your values? Drop me a message on Instagram at Christine_Dang or visit c-dang.com to share your experiences. Thank you so much for joining me on The Dang Good Show. Until next time, stay purposeful, stay aligned with your values, and as always, stay dang good. Much love, CDang signing out. Thank you for joining us on The Dang Good Show. Remember to swing by our website, thedangoodshow.com, where you can easily subscribe on platforms like Apple, Google, and Spotify to keep up with our latest episodes. Loved what you heard today? A thumbs up and a positive review on your favorite listening platform would be incredibly appreciated. And if our show struck a chord with you, sharing it with just one friend can help our community grow and thrive. Thanks once more for lending your ears to me on The Dang Good Show. Until we meet again, take care and goodbye.